It's 107.5 WGCI, the Shy's number one for hip hop and R&B. The morning show, the destined legend Leon Rogers, the beautiful Kendra G, myself, the shortest name man in Chicago, Kyle. And we're joined this morning by Mr. Lavell Ingram, going through a very difficult time period. We all heard about the story, unfortunately, where Miss Fowler Harris shot and killed her 12-year-old son this past Saturday. And Mr. Ingram, you are the father of that child and the companion of Miss Fallon Harris. And you were just saying a second ago that some of the things that were said on the radio, you wanted to kind of clear up today, and that's why
Well,
you
let me can I jump into that to what I said? So basically when Leon and I covered the story on Monday, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I was very judgmental and not compassionate for the mom because to read the story that a mother killed her 12-year-old son, without knowing all the information, I was just so disgusted and disappointed that a mother's supposed to protect a child, but obviously there's more to the story. And I know you heard about the things that I said on the radio, so you wanted to come in to kind of hope. I mean, I know you're dealing with a lot, so what do you want to say?
I mean, as a parent, you have to look at it from my point of view. I don't think no parent in their right mind would hurt any of their children, any. But it's a lot of people that's being very judgmental, and I understand, you can't change no one's opinion or how they feel about the situation. But the thing is, with the relationship that her and Caden had, it was inseparable. It's like they was joined at the hip. You see her, you see him. If he wasn't with me, they was doing things, together. And this, as everybody know, this was her best friend. And like I told the reporters, that I've spoken with in the past, mental illness is real. She was going through some things we didn't recognize the signs, and it led to whatever it led to, and we at the outcome, and this is where we at now.
So, Mr. Ingram, a question that I have to you and the mother's relationship. What was you all relationship like? Did you all, if you don't mind me asking, what did you guys go through that made you guys not be together anymore? And while you were dealing with her, was it times that you could see maybe outbursts or something that normally everybody else wouldn't see because you were around the majority of the time?
Well, Leon, our relationship, we was, been together for years, and then, some people, time just take a toll. We didn't have a bad relationship. We had a great relationship. As time take a toll, and it was like, we parted ways on a mutual agreement, and we still did things as family. When we moved together as a unit. We didn't move. Oh, I got to meet you here. We moved together as a unit. We did things with Caden and his sister. We did things as a whole. Because in light of all this, people don't understand that Caden has a sibling. He has an older sister by the name of Brianna, who he loves. The mother loved both of them unconditionally. But, with her condition, Leon, I'm not an expert. And, I noticed a change in her behavior when she came back from a girl's trip from Florida. It was just something that I never seen. And I never known her to be erratic and paranoid like this, and it was like something that I wasn't used to. And then, I'm not an expert, so I can't tell if anything is wrong. It's just, the way she was talking, it wasn't her. It wasn't her. And I'm like, maybe you need to see somebody, talk to someone about, what's going on, because she was under a lot of stress. Stress from work. And then you had a heckling neighbor that heckled her the 6 years we lived in the house. So, this all played contribute because I, trying to tell her, like, you just can't go to work and come home, and especially if you had a stressful day. I'm here with the babies. If you need to get out and get some air, go ahead. This was every day, Yeah. Work at home. Sometimes a person needs a break from that. You need to wind down. You need to get away from that.
Mr. Ingram, if I could ask you about your son, Caden, unfortunately, this whole situation, we lost him in his tragedy. As a father, how would you describe your son? Just, type of personality he was, type of person that he was.
My baby was a loving. He was a loving person. Hey, he was a kid. He was a kid at heart. He had his days where, hey, every kid had a day. One day they want to be a wrestler. One day they want to be a baseball player. One day they want to be what you call it, pediatrician. But Caden was more like a historian. He kind of self-taught himself because he did things that any average child would do in school. But like with the technology they got today with these cell phones and things like that, I bought him a cell phone, and he played the game Roblox on the cell phone, and he would come and get my phone, and I'm like, why did you need my phone when you got your phone? Well, I'm on YouTube on my phone. I'm looking up something about Genghis Khan. I just need your phone because it referenced me to look something else up. And I'm like, little dude, how you gonna come get my phone? I said, you know what, go ahead, take the phone because I'm not gonna stop you from learning, and you learn the stuff that I didn't learn in school, because he was very inquisitive. And then, his mom called him the humanist, encyclopedia.
Ooh.
Because he would come and he would question both of us. Did you know that Martin Luther King was the cause of the civil rights movement, through what did he say? The misunfortunate event that happened with Rosa Parks on the bus. And I was like, how did you know all this? He said, well, YouTube. And then he said, after I YouTube, I come get your phone to Google stuff. And I'm like, what you know about Google? He said, they teach us this in school, how to get on the computer and use the computer outlet to search stuff through the hard drive and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, you can use my phone. If it's not to play Roblox and kill my battery and stuff like that, go ahead.
Right.
Mr. Ingram, I want to say that you're single-handedly teaching me compassion and understanding because in talking to you, my perception of Caden's mother has changed. Before talking to you, I was just so mad that, a mom took, her own child's life, but you to be the father who this is your child too, it seems like you sit in a place of forgiveness and understanding towards her. And to me, that's admirable. That's really admirable. And I do think you speaking for her and changing the perception of what just the news story puts out, a mother killed a 12-year-old son I can't, you're just teaching me so much. With that being said, where were you when you found out that your son had passed away?
Actually, I was at home at my place of residency when our mom's called, gave me the news. So, I don't want to go into details, but, the Father Not Saint that day wasn't his mom's, it wasn't his mom, because like I say, social media and the media outlet, they paint this picture because they don't really know the, full details of what's going on and how she was with this baby. Like I say, Kendra, a lot of people don't understand because, they're not there. But like I told you earlier, they was inseparable. They was joined by the hip. When you saw her, you saw him. If she wasn't at work when they did, had little events to go to, he was there. I wasn't able to join them most of the time on their events because I worked overnight. So, when they do stuff, I get home, I'm kind of tight. I tell them, well, I see y'all when y'all get in, from the event. He come in, he'd be excited. We did this. And we did that. And he'd be like, then we mama? She'd be like, yeah. She's like, he'll hold hand for, it's Kendrick. He was becoming of a child that was, getting ready to seek his independence, And, he had just started school, attended the 7th grade. And his sister, me couldn't make it home early enough to get him to school. His sister would take him to school. So I picked him up from school Friday, and he was like, can I get my "Bus, can I get my own venture card?" I said, "What you need my a venture card for?" He says, "Because I want to get on a bus and I want to go to school on my own." I said, "What? You must don't want Brianna to take it." He said, "No, cause she a bug. You know, this is big sister." I said, "Well, you know, that's your big sister. You know, she gonna be a bug because she gonna do what's best for you." He said, "Yeah, but I want to learn how to do stuff on my own." I said, "Well, okay, I'm gonna talk to your mom and we'll talk about getting you a venture card." I said, "Well, what I do is I give you a trial run. I get you a venture card. I'll let you get on the bus. I'll follow the bus to see if you get off. And if you get off on the right stop, then I let you. I kind of consider letting you go to school on your own, but not letting them know that I would have did it, but I wouldn't have let them know I was gonna follow them every day just to see if you know, because there's too much going on in the street to just let your baby wonder like that.
Right.
You know, when I had a talk with his mom, she sat there with tears in her eyes, like I'm not ready for my baby to be a big boy. You know, that's my baby. And I was like, well, you can't keep shielding him. You know, he's gonna seek his independence, and sometimes, you know, he's gonna become a young man. You got to, you know, get ready. You got to get ready for this. You know, you got to get ready for him to stop liking girls, you know, and he get ready for high school. So we got to prepare him for high school. That's when all the stuff changed. He's going to be at the point where now he starts seeing girls and he starts liking girls. We ain't going to be able to, come here, baby. You know, hey, Duda. He ain't going to want to be called by Duda. He going to want to be called by Caden.
Man.
You know, so these are things she had to get ready for.
So, brother, I know the whole family right now is hurting because two people that everybody love is gone. Two questions for you. Where is the family at now? Like, where are people in the family at now? Like his older sister, and even yourself mentally, where are you at? And have you had a chance to talk to Fallon? Have you all talked to her? What is she going through right now?
Leon, they got this. I got a system in play with the county corrections that they have a 10-day quarantine lockdown because of the COVID. So she haven't been able to make no calls and stuff like that. You know, that's the main concern of her mother. Her mother, is really very, because at the stage she's at, Leon, I don't really think that she's aware of what's going on. And I'm just being honest, she's not fully aware of what's going on. And, you know, whenever she comes to realization and feel and see what's going on, it's going to be devastating. So, like I told the state's attorney, she needs to be put on a 24-hour suicide watch. Mm-hmm. Because when she realizes what happened, it's going to be devastating to her. And then, you know, she's a suicide risk because of the closeness that her and Kaden had. You know, Leon, they had something that I didn't have. You know, a father and son got their bond, but they had a bond that was, man, it was undescribable. You know, they did things that, you know, I didn't do with them. You know, they did stuff, and like it was times that, you know, I missed out on a lot of good activities with them because due to me working overnights and being tired. But the things they did, you know, man, had them very close. You know, that's why she was like, "This is my best friend," because, you know, Caden was that type of baby, you know, that everybody loved. He was the crown prince of both families.
Yeah. Mr. Ingram, let me ask you this question, because you are handling this in an amazing way. I don't even understand how you're even able to have this conversation at times. Can you foresee what your conversation might be like when you actually do have a conversation with Fallon? Like, I don't know what you would say. I don't know what your approach might be. Is there anything that you can foresee when it comes to the time that you are able to talk to her?
I'm gonna support her. I can't tell you what the conversation will be, but I'm gonna support her. I'm gonna let her know she has the support of her family, her loved ones. She has the support of her friends, because, like I told you, Cal, everybody that knows Fallon knows this was her best friend, and I knew, and we all knew that something wasn't right with Fallon. You know, it's a lot that play into this, Cal. I can't go into details, you know, but it's a lot that play into this, and people need to understand that. I'm gonna stress this again: mental illness is real.
Yeah.
You know, it never looked at until it hit home.
Mm-hmm. That's real.
With that being said, with mental illness, has she ever been diagnosed, by a doctor with suffering from mental illness? Because I think that would be her key in this situation? Because if not, I mean, unfortunately, it seems like she might be in, prison for the remainder of her life if there's no proof, or if they can't prove that she's suffering from mental illness.
Our goal was to get her help before it got to this point, because Kendra, we moved, but I don't think we caught everything in time, because she had people reaching out for her from her place of employment, because she was employed by the city of Chicago, and they noticed the change in her behavior, so they was trying to get help. The meeting that was called between her mother, and her superior supervisors at the job, that was their goal, was to try to get Fallon help. But like I said, I'm not an expert, and the things that I recognize, we tend to put things out because we feel that hey, it's nothing, it's small. Family come around, it'll be caught, it'll be done, it'll be over with. But I didn't know the severity of what was going on, so I can't really say. I'm not an expert. But at this time, all I can say is we just need to look into these things that's going on, and then it's like a lot of people don't understand the fact that, depression is a big part of this. And then, she was at the point where she wasn't depressed, she was paranoid all the time. She was really thinking that people was out to do body harm, and then with the stress of her neighbor, heckling her every day, bothering her, harassing her, and then, the stress from work, stress was too much, too overwhelming for her, Far like I told Leon, far as our relationship, it was great, Even though we parted ways, we were still very close. We were still close. There was no, there was no disagreements, there was no animosity, nothing. We still did things as a unit. So like I say, we recognize the signs and the symptoms too late. And we're at the point where we're at now. So I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out in court.
Mr. Ingram, first of all, brother, I tip my hat to you, to lose your best friend and your son, what I'm saying? I got all daughters, but I know a father and son bond is a different thing, brother. So that's legacy. That's legacy and everything like that. What would you say out there to families of people who might suspect they have a loved one that's dealing with a lot of mental issues? What would you say to them in hindsight, and now that everything that has happened with you and your family, what advice would you give to somebody on how to deal with it? Because, a lot of times the person that's going through it, you can't really talk to them because they're going through it, and they, they don't want to believe that they're going through anything. What would you say to the families of those people who are trying to help a loved one?
Yeah, you know what, Leon, that's the number one question. The thing is, when you recognize something out of the ordinary, my thing is yes, be very cautious, and how you move and handle these situations. But if you notice something out of the ordinary about this person, get on top of that right away. Because if you know this person and you know that's not that person, you don't know what they're dealing with, what type of stress they're under. Get on top of that right away and seek help. Even if they don't want to help, seek help. Seek help. Even if they don't want it, make them go and talk to somebody. Because stress is the number one cause of death. So if you see one of your loved ones or anyone and they acting erratic and their behavior is not normal, look into that and keep a close watch on them. And you seek help if they're not going to seek help. Have them see someone, get counseling right away.
Yeah. Mr. Ingram, my last question for you, just dealing with everything that's happened, we talk a lot about mental health and the situation that took place, but as a father who's in this situation and dealing with it, have you felt at this point like maybe you might need to go talk to somebody and just kind of sort out all the different feelings that you're experiencing right now?
Well, yes, I work for the city of Chicago as well, and they reached out to me, and yes, I'm willing. I'm ready to sit down, and do the grief counseling. I got to have Brianna and my oldest son and my oldest daughter. We all got to have grief counseling because this is a lot for us, you know. And yes, I definitely going to seek help out there. All the arrangements and things I took care. I'm going to seek help, and I'm going to, you know, get the baby some counseling as well.
Yeah, we definitely wish you the best with that, man, because we know it's a serious thing you're managing right now.
Yeah.
Mr. Ingram, before you go, you alluded to it earlier in the interview, but I wasn't quite sure. So you said Kanan's mom, Fallon, doesn't realize what she did at this moment. She doesn't realize that her son is no longer here with us?
At the state of mind she's in, like I said, you know, can't really go into details because, you know, the legal proceedings that's going on, but she's not here, Kendra. The Fallon we know is not the Fallon we know.
Okay. Whew.
Well, look,
Heavy.
yeah, we know it's a lot. Thank you for even being
Yeah.
available to have this conversation with us today. We know it's a very difficult situation, but we hope that, you know, through it all, you come out on the other side having some peace and the family can stay together through these rough times.
Hold your head, brother.
Yes, sir.
Man.
I'm trying, Leon. It's hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard, but you know, I never thought that something like this would happen because, you know, as a father, you look at it that, hey, you know, your children's supposed to be the one burying you, not you burying them.
Right.
And, you know, the way I had things set up, for Caden and my oldest son to be the power of attorney. If anything happened to me, they would be in control of everything. Now it's the other way around, you know. And my oldest son, he's grieving just as well as everybody else. And, you know, I had to ride with him yesterday and explain this to him because he's lashing out. And you know, and I understand because they don't know how to deal with this. You know, so, you know, I just had a one-on-one bond with him, that one-on-one talk with him. Because Caden was just like he was my everything, he was his everything, you know. And, you know, and I talked with Brianna this morning and told her, you know, same thing. You know, we all got to get together and we got to be strong for Caden because he was a strong-willed individual.
That's right.
One more thing. People that are listening right now might want to contribute because, you know, is there a GoFundMe page or is there any way that somebody that wants to help in any way with easing, you know, making this hardship not as hard for you right now? Is there a way?
Well, Kendra, I don't, you know, I was told to do a GoFundMe. Then, you know, one of my nieces was trying to do a GoFundMe. So I don't know. And then, honestly, I don't know how to set up the GoFundMe. I'm not computer savvy like that. That was Fallon and Caden's area, you know, and Brianna. So I don't know, you know, but they can reach out to me if they need, and I'll point them in the right place, you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
For sure. Well, thank you again for your time today. And like I said, we wish you the best, you know, that you can in this situation. We wish you continued strength and, man, just, you know, all the good vibes that we could possibly send your way in this tough situation, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it because what's giving me strength is the love and the support of my community and my childhood friends and my family. You know, I'm thanking everybody, and I appreciate everything from everybody, and I appreciate you guys having me on so I can clear things up about Fallon.
Absolutely.
Right.
Hey, brother, know that he's still here, man. You know, maybe that he not here in the
Always.
physical form, but he's still here. And as long as you keep that on your heart and on your head, you'll push through this, man. You'll push through this, man. But just, you know, always open up the talk. Here, us at the station, I'm pretty sure Cal, Kendra, myself, brother, you know, I go out and have some scotch with you, man. You know, we smoke a cigar, do something, brother. I just, you know, when you hear stuff like that, man, you really don't know what to say to somebody. But, you know, I just tell you, man, we love you, and y'all hold y'all head, man.
Love you all, too. You know, God don't make no mistakes. He gave me 12 wonderful years with a young man of intelligence, of a, you know, scholar. So, you know, hey, I can't do nothing but be blessed and be thankful for that. And I thank you all again.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Keep us situated. Keep us posted, okay?
Okay, I keep y'all posted.
All right. Thank you for your time.
All right.